everyone. I am here tonight to talk about someone who is near and dear to my heart, Edgar Markov, aka Daddy Markov. Now, we all know the iconic artwork done by Volkan Baga and the Judge promo done by Martina Fakova. Both iconic. We love it. It's great. But here's the thing about Edgar. He's not been reprinted so often, so you can get him for around, I guess the prices are $150 to even $350 for the Judge promo. So he's not the cheapest card out there, but he's got First Strike, Haste, and gets a +1/+1 each time he attacks. And he has Eminence, and as far as I'm concerned, that is essentially the perfect man. Or undead man, I don't know what you would say. So tonight we're going to look at some of the proxy artwork that has been put out there of Daddy Markov, and some of it's good, some of it's okay, some of it's even great, but most of it is absolute crap. And we're going to discuss it today. So let's dive into it. Okay, so there's a couple of misconceptions about the official artwork that's been done for the card. Somebody here took a painting by Martina Fakova. This is actually the painting that was used to get her into Magic the Gathering, and it has a blonde vampire-esque model sort of resembling Edgar Markov, but it is not Edgar Markov. So if you see this is not official, it's not meant to be that. I do love this painting though. It's graphic and androgynous and interesting, and it's pure Fakova. I mean, she's killing it here. This next one, now, I don't know if this is a character from a video game or if it's whatever, but I mean, it's Edgar Markov protecting some sobbing princess. She looks like the princess from Never-Ending Story, except older and with like a more flat iron face. Like literally like somebody took an iron and flattened it. There's a dead knight by it, and you can't read the actual text of the card because it's written in black, and it's, I'm not sure. This one does appear to possibly not be AI. But, then again, you can never be sure. Unless, of course, we're talking about this one. This Edgar Markov by RK Waltz is the name of the artist. And I hope I'm not being mean here, but artist, really? Because if this is not AI, then I am Edgar Markov myself. This literally looks like just an amalgamation of noise that came together and found a face. I mean, what is happening here? Edgar Markov looks like he's like a neutron star that's collapsing on itself as he's like swirling the giant moon. I don't know if I would even qualify this as humanoid. It would be more like a cloud of brackish diarrhea with a red cape came at me at night, which, happens, more often than I care to admit. This one I take offense to because they take the good name of Hirohiko Oraki, who is the creator of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, brilliant artist, and honestly would be one of the tie-ins that I would love to see happen in Magic. They take this four-fingered monstrosity of an AI creation and attribute it to him. This is not his artwork, and the reason why it's not is because it's bad, and he is very good. So whoever does this, I just don't, why would you do that? Why would you take a brilliant artist and attribute a pile of shit to their brilliance? It's like, is that to compliment them? Or is that just some egotistical weirdos, I guess, attempt at being Iraqi? I don't know. Somebody tell me what the point of that is. And speaking of pointless, this next one is, I don't even know if this was really Edgar Markov to begin with. This is some sort of wizard with red eyes, but I don't get vampire vibe from this at all. Like, do you? I mean, I get a more like Gandalf kind of vibe, like maybe angry Gandalf. This one is... So this is the one where I think where AI starts to get creepier and creepier. Now, this is AI, this particular version of it. But it is a very effective AI, and it does appear to be, it appears to be something that could be done by a human, and the person even puts a handle by their name, but they cover it up, which is kind of a little, I don't know, it's a little questionable. Like, why would you put the card up and then kind of cover your name? Seems like a little bit of a cop-out, but that's just my opinion. This next one is, okay, if you want to know AI, if you want to know if AI is happening, look for the hands. Just look for the hands. the hands are a dead giveaway. This particular Edgar Markov seems to be holding a fiery cup, like an exploding firework cup in a 4-fingered hand, and the other one is discreetly hidden underneath his, I don't know, cape and metal trousseau. Is that even a word? I think it is. I know it's the name of some Canadian person. Or is that Trudeau? Never mind. But anyway, yeah, see, look for the hands. Also, I got to give props to Custom Proxy for choosing the most bubblyish, girly font, like 3rd grader going on a field trip, round font that you could possibly choose for Edgar Markov, because nothing says scary than, bubbly letters and the Dunkin' Donuts logo. This one is Edgar Markov under another skin of a woman with big breasts. Well, when I say woman, I mean like an attempt to emulate a woman. Again, this is AI, because look at her hands as she's coming out like this, because that's how people come out when they're, posing. She has 4 giantly separated fingers that almost resemble more like E.T.'s, hands than anything human. But she is bursting out of the picture, which I'm sure is the reason why people want this. I mean, really, but it gets worse than this, because there's some other ones where it's like, just like pack it in, boys. This one, okay, I know I shouldn't have a problem with this, but like Edgar Markov as a cute little bunny rabbit, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess I can understand the appeal of it. I loved Bunnicula as a kid, but I just don't see Bunnicula as a vampire knight. He was a cute little vampire bunny that drained vegetables, and I'd love to see him included in the game. A vampire bunny would be a great creature type, but he's just not a vampire knight, and I don't see this guy being one either. This apparently is his slightly more evil twin. This one maybe could be a vampire knight. Maybe could be a vampire knight. I mean, he's at least got the aggressiveness towards it. You can tell he's got that like desire to kill, and I'll give him props for that. That's a good little cute thing. This one I will not give props to, because why don't they just call this card "I like boobs" and be done with it? I mean, look, I'm not trying to yuck anybody's yum, but if you're playing with a group of like other people that you don't know, do not bring your spank bank material to the table. It's just not necessary. Nobody asked for it. You don't need to show it off. And also, those are not real. Look, I mean, really, seriously, only clowns would play with those balloons. Okay? All right? This one is Edgar Markov AI. I call it Edgar Markov the sickbed AI version. He's eloquently dressed. Also, look at those hands. I love the extremely long thumb that is not a thumb. It's just sort of there's just 4 fingers kind of sitting there. But Edgar Markov's hips here are striking. Like, the top half is a very like delicate prince, and the bottom half seems to be but it seems like Edgar Markov might have had a few dozen children before he retired in this instance. But lovely theft of art here. I'm sure there's thousands of people who are enraged by the thieving that happened. Another one here, we got another foppy dandy Markov with, again, nightmare fuel hands. Look at that. What is it with, I hope AI can never figure out hands, honestly, because I find it endlessly entertaining that it can't handle this. Everything else it can handle. I do like the outfit though. It's a pretty outfit. I'm sure whoever designed it is very talented, but they not getting credit here because this was stolen, because AI is theft. And am I making myself clear? This is the final one, the Edgar Markov FOP 3. Edgar Markov has on the most interesting, I don't know, they're sort of like tights boots, pink tight boots that just sort of start and stop, and it's the top half is a dandy, and the bottom half is like, that 65-year-old ballet teacher in your hometown that's like kind of weird, and she always wears a tutu, and she's harmless and she's cute, but she's a little off ever since her husband left her. I mean, that's not something that I knew personally growing up, but that's the vibe I get from that outfit here. Also, Nightmare Fuel Fingers. This one actually I think is a real artist, and I do like it. I think it's pretty phallic though. I mean, Edgar Markov is most definitely like driving his sword into something. I mean, he's using both hands as he's doing it, which, I guess, he does get a +1/+1 every time he attacks, so maybe this one's attacked a few times. You can be sure. This Edgar Markov, so the hands, man. I don't know what's creepier, Edgar Markov in the front or his assistant trying to come in to grab him or, I don't know, assist him. But Freddy Krueger, literal like Freddy Krueger hands. And I'm not talking about the gloves. I'm talking about like the burnt pepperoni pizza looking Freddy Krueger hands. It's truly gruesome. And this one is too. This one is Edgar Markov AI, where something went wrong in the process. So he's kind of got these weird little T-Rex kind of arms that are not the right size. So can you imagine like Edgar Markov is coming at you like this? Like he can't move his arms. He's just sort of like dead in the front. It would be really, it would be funny, I guess, but the creepy skulls in the background that are, they can't be sure whether they're skulls or they're babies. And that's kind of disturbing. Speaking of disturbing, another rendition of Edgar Markov as anime. This one's even more egregious than the last one. I mean, really? Do people really? Is this a thing? It has to be a thing because people are selling these online at like hotcakes. But I don't know. It makes me very, very sad for humanity when I see breasts taking over the entire text box. And that's the paragraph of writing. So this one is, I feel like I might be missing out on the cool boat on this one. I feel like this is a reference to a character in a cartoon that I'm not aware of. So maybe somebody could let me know if this is some sort of reference to something, because it's a cutesy-wootsy, one-eyed Edgar Markov with like a short haircut and a cowboy hat maybe, or is it a blood moon? I don't know, but I feel like this is a reference to something. And my initial reaction is to hate it, but then I also am worried that like I'm hating it and I'm just simply not getting the coolness factor of it, and therefore I must like it because I desperately need to be cool, as you can see by the not completely flashy outfit that I'm wearing before you. And the last one, I think I have to give credit for the worst best name of all time. Instead of Edgar Markov, it's Edgarina Markova, because, just to ram home the point that she's a lady, you have to add an A onto everything because what? Yeah, Edgarina Markov, no, that's not going to work, but Edgarina Markova, now that's a lady's name. So whoever did that, my hands off to you. And speaking of hands off, I don't think she has any hands. Edgarina Markova has no hands. And isn't Markova the name of a tennis player that was a famous tennis player? I don't know. Martina Navratilova? Oh, well, the hell with it. She had hands and she knew how to use them because she could play tennis. You can't play tennis without hands. This one I don't think has hands, but she has a fantastic name. So my hat's off to you, Miss Markova. Well, that does it for my constructive criticism or out-and-out insults of the Edgar Markov proxy market. And there's more. There's literally dozens and dozens. A lot of them are the giant-breasted ones, which are, you've seen one, you've seen them all. But let me know what you think of some of these pieces. Are my takes hot, or are they cold, or are they lukewarm? I don't know. I can't be sure, because right now I think I'm going through the change, and temperatures are difficult for me. So, with that, let's call it a night. See you later.